Hello folks and welcome back to the next episode of Soup Empire in Farming Simulator 25. I apologise for my voice. I've had man flu, I think, over the last few days. It's just starting to disappear, but it's left the old throat a little bit wrecked, so I apologise for that. I'll try to speak as clearly as possible. Welcome back. If you remember in the last episode we were able to sow the fields with oats. We're probably going to move on to the next month. If we have a look at the soil composition, you can see that we've got a lot of weed in one of our fields. The other one doesn't because we ploughed it, so we don't have to worry about weeds in that particular field. But in this one, field number 7, we do. So let's go and have a look at the field. We'll have a little visit, check out these weeds. Okay, they haven't grown too big just yet, which is a good thing. But they're still there. You can still spot them. There's one right in front of me right there. So we're going to grab our weeder and we're going to come... No, I think we'll use a sprayer actually. We could pick up a contract maybe. One of our workers could do a contract while we do the spraying in the field. Can you weed with a hoe? I think it's a hoe that I've got. Not sure. I don't think I want to risk it. I think we're going to have a look at one of those hoeing jobs. So there's a nice big one here, 6,689. Don't need to hire the equipment because we've already got the gear. We'll jump in the Kubota, I think, and take the hoe over to the field, and we will get that contract started. So the goal for today, guys, is really to take care of our own field, maybe do a couple of contracts, try and avoid crashing into any trees as we leave, make a little bit of money and then move on to the next month. After that, we'll just stop by the dog's kennel to feed the dog, as we like to do once per episode. There you go, Ghost. There's your food, boy. Here you come. Ghost. He's like a ghost. You can never see him. I nearly ran him over actually. He's around here somewhere. Come on, boy. Go and get your food. Here he comes. Here he comes. There you go. One happy dog. Right. Let's get down to the field. We'll head down, as I say, we'll do this contract, or we'll have a helper do this contract for us while we take care of our own field. Because the hoe is going to be in use, we will probably use the sprayer. I think I've still got the sprayer, still kicking around it. Oh, did I sell it? Because I was enjoying doing the weeding with... I can't remember, we'll have to have a look when we come back from dropping this guy off. I think we've still got the sprayer. We'll double check when we get back anyway, and if we do, we'll use that to spray our own field. Should be done very, very quickly. Alright, so I will head on down to the field, start the helper off, and then we'll regroup. I'll see you in a few moments. So here we go, guys. We've arrived at the field. We'll get the worker on. I think I've done this one before, you know. I think I might have ploughed this way back in episode 1. I think when I've got my plough for the first time. I think this field here, field 24. I think we might have done that one before. Anyway, we're going to use the steer tractor today. We're going to get on over to our sprayer. I can just see it in the top right hand corner there. I think it's got some herbicide already in it. We can soon check. We'll go and have a little look. Let's just hook onto it and it'll tell us. Yeah, there you go. We've got 737 litres. So let's go and unfurl this and let's go get that field herbicided. Herbicided, is that a word? Sprayed. I suppose sprayed is the right word. If anybody saw the first episode, I do remember mentioning actually that I'm not a big fan of spraying fields. I prefer to plough them, but for some reason in this particular series I've just got a little bit more into the field work side of things rather than ploughing and then planting and fertilising at the same time and not having to worry about weeds. The farm came with this sprayer. It's actually quite entertaining to use, and in all fairness, because of the size of the thing, it really does get the job done. Anyway, off we go. We will put this onto... We won't even put it onto a time lapse. It's a small enough field. And it seems to be sprayed. It seems to be taking quite a lot, and yet it's not going down at all. Oh, you know what I've done, guys? I am spraying fertiliser onto the field instead of herbicide. What a muppet. Alright, lesson learned. That'll be the reason why it wasn't going down. I do have the precision farming mod installed, which only takes as much fertiliser as the field needs. It doesn't actually take any more. There's the fertiliser in, and IBC will come back and use that at some point, I am absolutely sure. Okay, so let's correct that little problem then. We've got this cash machine doohickey thing in the back of one of these sheds that if you've seen any previous episodes, or even if you've played this map yourself before, you'll know that that little glowy red thing on the left hand side there is a little machine that you can use to purchase important supplies for your farm. Really handy. Saves a trip down to the store. I'll just double check that we haven't actually got any herbicide in any of these thingies. That's all seeds, lime. Doesn't appear to be any. We've got lime, we've got seed. Yeah, it looks like whichever part of the thing you go in, it's showing you what's in the entire structure. So let's get some herbicide. We do not need 50,000 litres. I think 1,000 litres should suffice. And again, guys, if you've seen any previous episodes or if you've used this map before, you know that it's a little bit hit and miss in terms of where you need to put the sprayer in order to fill it. So as I'm reversing back here, I'm just going to be tapping the R key, and then at some point it is going to come up and it's going to allow me to fill. So nudging back, pressing R, nudging back, pressing R, pressing R, nudging. There we go, herbicide. Fantastic, let's start this up. Okay guys, a little bit of a false start there, trying to spray herbicide onto a field using fertiliser. So not a great start, but okay. We have fixed the problem and we'll go back to the field and we'll get it sprayed. And this will only take a moment. Alright, and there we go guys. So as mentioned, one of the advantages of using a sprayer is it takes next to no time. That was a very quick 5-minute job, weeds taken care of. And the only reason why I tend not to use a sprayer is because it does leave these kind of ghostly weeds back in the field, and sometimes I don't like the aesthetics of that, but they were small enough this time that we got them. They're still there, but once the crop is grown you'll barely be able to see them. And I think we can all agree, having seen me reverse in this series in the past, that is a pretty good effort right there. Pretty good effort. So, that's one job done. Our contractor is still cracking on, our helper, still doing field number 24. It's a pretty big field, it's going to be at that for a while. Just considering this second contract, I think we'll take it. This is only a small one, just for maybe just under £2,000, but that'll give our contractor or even ourselves something to do once that one is finished. Quick check on the water situation. We have been making a little bit of money solidly off the lettuce. Yeah, we've got plenty in there. Doesn't tell us what's in there though. Making solid money off the lettuce. Hello boy, wait, tummy tickle. Ah, good boy. Good boy, Ghost. So we don't need any water. Making some solid money off the lettuce. And in case anybody's wondering, I've already done the tomato stacking off camera. There are only so many times you can watch a man stack crates of tomatoes. I do need fuel, so I'm having a little look for the fuel station. All of these icons for loading stations all look the same to me. I guess they all mean different things, but they're all for loading different stuff, I guess. I think the simplest solution is just going to be, let's take a drive down into town and try and find a petrol pump. I am almost certain there is a garage somewhere near the shop. So I'm going to head down there. As you can see, we're running quite low on fuel. If it is near the shop, then I think what we'll probably do is get this tractor repaired at the same time. One of the things that's the gate. One of the things that I'm very good at, other than crashing into inanimate objects, is forgetting to service my equipment, which for things like tractors means that you get a reduction in horsepower, I believe. The power of the tractor is reduced ever so slightly. So you might lose a mile or two an hour when you're doing field work or things like that. With things like harvesters, like combines, it is really important actually to keep them serviced, because not doing so actually reduces your yield on your harvest slightly, which is obviously a bad thing when you're trying to make as much money from your crops as possible. So I'm going to try very hard, I think, in this series to keep up with the servicing. There's no excuse. There's a garage in the farm. I can just drive straight into my own garage and service my own gear. I don't need to bring it down to the shop. I can do if I want to, but there's no need. So there's no excuse for not keeping everything all hunky-dory, all sorted, all up to service, full service history. Far better than I am in real life in looking after cars with full service history. So we'll just head down, we'll have a little look, see if we can find a petrol station, and we'll get the tractor serviced. Now, I'm aware that it's only a short trip. Oh, hello. There's our helper. There he is, cracking on. Doing an absolutely sterling job, but then we are paying him, so I would expect nothing but a good job on that field. Just checking the numbers, 81% done. As I said, it's a big field, won't take long to finish, I guess. 82%, okay. So let's keep our eyes peeled. We're going into town. I do love coming into town. It is really pretty down here with these buildings. In fact, this whole map is just really pretty, just a really, really nicely laid out map. Lots of the signs there. Area de servicio. No, I don't know much Spanish, but that strikes me as there's a lamppost. Strikes me as a garage, and sure enough, here we go, right opposite the shop, as anticipated. So we'll fill up here. I may have lost my train of thought when I crashed into a lamppost there. Do apologise. But we'll fill up here. We will then head over to the shop. We'll get the tractor repaired. Might have a little poke around in the shop, see if there's any bargains on the used machinery sale. So far in this series, I've not found a single thing, I don't think, that I want to buy from the used machinery sale. I do have a mod installed, and I thought it was the same mod that Daggerwin and Chainsaw use, which gives loads of vehicles in the used sale, but I only ever seem to have 3 or 4. So either I've not configured it properly, or I've got the wrong mod installed, or something like that. It does tell me in the top right hand corner when there's new things on sale, but it doesn't give me hardly anywhere near as many options as you see in Daggerwin videos with that mod that he's got installed. So I might have to have a little look into that, because I think it would be nice. I think it's a bit more realistic as well to have, you know, lots of used equipment for sale instead of just 3 items or 4 items. As you can see here, there's only 3 items. I mean, the header's vaguely interesting, but don't even know what that is. Oh, it's a planter. There's never anything interesting in there for me, and I think it's a bit unrealistic in a town the size of this, and an agricultural economy the size of Castile and Leon, that there wouldn't be more used machinery for sale. So I think off camera, I think after this session, I'm probably going to have a little look at that, see if I can improve that mod and improve the used vehicle sale, just to give me more options really, because every piece of equipment I've needed to buy so far, I've had to pay full whack for, basically. I don't think I've actually bought anything from the used machinery. But okay, let's get back to the farm. I will see you back there, and we'll regroup and figure out what our next move is. Home sweet home. There's our dog, snuffling in the ground. We'll pop this tractor over here, maybe just put it away for now. I'm not sure if we're going to need it again. I'm not sure what we're going to do. After this, we do have that other contract to do. Don't drive into the back of the wall, Stefan, you fool. We've still got that other contract left to do. But our helper is 98%, very, very nearly done. As I was servicing the tractor earlier on in town, I noticed that it was absolutely filthy, absolutely caked in mud. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back into town. We'll probably have to pause part way through and reposition our helper, and I'm going to spend some of this contract money that we haven't yet collected. There you go, contract finished. I'm going to spend some of this money on a jet wash, and we're going to keep everything clean. Not just purely for the aesthetics. Let's just use the auto drive to get this guy down to the dealership. Clearly you can't find the dealership. Where is the dealership? Is it store, shop, dealer? Where is it? Castile, I can't see it. Let's send them to. We know that the fuel station is right opposite. Let's send them down to the fuel station. Fuel pump number 1. I love it. You can choose fuel pump number 1 through 4. Okay, so he's off. Anyway, as we're saying, we'll reposition this helper on the new contract, and I'll explain what I'm up to while we're heading up that way. Just need to plot a route, autosave, quick sip of tea, if you know you know. Yeah, so I'm going to get a jet wash. I've read reports and heard on videos that keeping your equipment clean does actually matter. If you don't keep it clean and you allow it to the dirt to accumulate, it can cause the vehicle's maintenance to deteriorate a little bit quicker than it normally would, and it's genuinely worth keeping your gear clean for that reason. So I'm going to go get a jet wash. We've sent the helper in the van down to town. Going to buy the jet wash, pick up the jet wash, bring it back, and we're going to wash a few bits and pieces while we do this contract. There he goes. He's just gone straight shooting past us. We don't use that truck often enough, you know. It's dead quick. It goes like 60 mile an hour, I think. It on these little roads is pretty good, and certainly beats the 30 miles an hour that this tractor does. Of course, the truck can't pull a weeder or a hoe like we're doing here. So we're going to head up to the other field. We'll allow the truck driver to get us down to the store, purchase the, what do you call it, jet wash, purchase the jet wash, and then while the helper is doing this contract, I was going to do it myself, but then I got overtaken with this whole jet washing idea. So we're probably going to put a helper on this just to do this job for us. Only this one's a little bit tricky to get to. Just at the top of the screen there, you can see that the driver's arrived at the store. We'll go catch that up in a minute. Wow, somebody who is slower on this road than I am. Can we overtake this guy? No. Too much coming the other way. Why are you stopping? Why are you stopping? Honestly. It's not like, well, I suppose half my hoe is hanging over into the left-hand side of the road, which is probably why they're stopping, to be fair. So I can see the field on the minimap to the left, but I can't see an obvious way of getting into it because it's on quite a low level. Look at that steep bank just there to the left. Now, in an earlier episode, I got caught out by one of those steep banks, and I had to use some sneaky super strength to disentangle myself from a rather unfortunate situation. So I don't want to do that again. So let's go up and have a look. I am going to lose patience in a second though and just head off to the left and see if we can make our way down there. But these are steep slopes. You do not want to go piling down these. And no wonder traffic stops coming the other way, the way I'm driving all over the place. Alright, into the trees we go. There's got to be a way down there. Let's catch this main road going the other way. I think I've done this before when I was looking for a water source, which I don't need to do anymore. If you saw last episode, I found a water source in my farm. We've got a well. Fantastic. So the field is somewhere to the left. I think we can probably off-road it from here. If you can't off-road in a tractor, what can you off-road in? Let's try not to crash into any trees. Oh, the visibility is not good. That's a tree. We crashed into a tree, guys. Which I imagine in real life would be a problem. In this game, we can just carry on. Alright, brilliant. We've got access to the field. So we'll get this one set up on the helper and we'll go see a man about a jet wash. Looking good? Helper? Fantastic. Alright. I don't know if you guys get this, but whenever I scroll this menu for the first time, it's always quite bumpy. But then after that, every single time is absolutely fine. Really strange. So there's the jet wash, the only one we've got available. £4,300. But in the long run, it will save us money, because it'll mean we'll have to service our vehicles less, or less often. Because allowing them to get caked in dirt, as I mentioned, I believe causes the maintenance of the vehicle or the condition of the vehicle to deteriorate quicker, or more quickly over time, and you end up paying more money in maintenance. So for the price of £4,300, we're going to keep our gear clean and avoid those maintenance bills. So here we go. Now I could make up some roleplay rubbish about getting the store to drop this onto the back of the van for us, but I'm literally just going to use super strength and pop it on the back, and we'll just all pretend that this is quite a light unit, and the shop helped us out with their truck. Anyway, who am I fooling? Super strength right on the back, get it sealed up. Alright guys, I am going to head back to the farm with this carefully and safely strapped on the back. I'll see you back there and it'll be time to wash the gear. Alright, home sweet home again, home sweet home. So I think first up, we'll get the thing off the back. I'm going to cheat again, using the old super strength. I don't like doing it, but, you know, I didn't really fancy running this thing back up the road, because it is pretty slow. I'm sure we've all done it in the past, tried to stay true to the roleplay and not use the super strength and run this thing up the road. I can't pick it up, it's still strapped down. I'm going to work that out in a minute. Try to stick to the storyline, try to run it up and down the road as you would, but let's face it, in real life, why can't I undo these straps? Right, we're going to have to get back in this thing. There we go, we can now get it off. Yeah, so as I was saying, we roleplay it out sometimes, and we run around with it, but other times, you've just got to be practical. Anyway, if you guys have never seen this before, this is actually one of the most satisfying things, for me personally, that you can do in Farming Simulator, is wash down your gear, because the dirt system, can you call it a dirt system? Anyway, yeah, I'm going to call it a dirt system. It works really well. If you look at this thing, it's absolutely filthy. You can see dirt all over it, but by simply using this and spraying it, you can clean all that dirt off and keep your equipment in pristine condition. Now, I've got a mod installed that gives me more info about my equipment, and I'm noticing that when I'm doing this, I can see my dirt percentage going down, which is really helpful actually, because it must be a new mod that I've put in. There we go, 3, 2, 1. No more dirt on this planter. Because I don't recall seeing that on previous playthroughs that I've done. This is the first playthrough I've ever tried to video and document and put onto YouTube, so I must have put a mod in that allows me to do a little bit more with the, or see more information with the equipment. So I think it's just a really useful way of knowing when you're done with your washing, really. I mean, you can tell visually, it's beautiful. The dirt just disappears, but you can see the percentage going down. Thing of beauty. Now, in the past, actually, I might have left it here because this looks quite clean. But that little information panel is telling me that there's still quite a bit of dirt on there that I need to work my way through. So I'm just keeping an eye on that percentage. Lower right, there you go. Down to 0. And that's now done. Let's get the sprayer while we're here. Alright. So I'm going to spray the rest of this stuff, get it all nice and clean. Once that's all done, we'll check on the progress of the helper. And we'll see where we go from there. And just like that, guys, the cleaning is all done. Let's go check on the helper. While I was cleaning, I noticed that the helper had finished his task, so all good. Just checking on the best way to get home. I think I'll drive this tractor home myself. I could use the auto drive, but sometimes it's fun just to have a little drive yourself and take it where you need to be. Just kidding. Of course I'm going to use the auto drive. I've got stuff to be getting on with. Let's wait for this guy to get home. Well, it would appear some inconsiderate sod has left an IBC of fertiliser by the side of the field, which the helper has been unable to negotiate. So we'll just finish off the little trip from here. I did wander away from the keyboard for a while there while I was letting the helper do his thing. So we'll go park this up. Parking the hoe is really easy, by the way. You can reverse this thing in because it doesn't wobble while you reverse like all the other bits and bobs of equipment that we've got. So we'll park up. We do need to remember to give this tractor and this hoe a bit of a wash, because obviously they were out on duty while we were washing the rest of the gear. So we'll park it up over here next to the jetwash. I think it'd be a good call, and that would allow us to get this thing, get the Kubota and get the hoe all cleaned up. For next time, guys, I'm thinking of replacing this Kubota for no other reason than the orange, for reasons that I don't want to get too deeply into, I now find extraordinarily offensive. So I'm thinking of changing this tractor out, but we'll have a look at that next time maybe. It's a 200 horsepower tractor. It's not a bad tractor, but I think we could sell this and we could pick something else up. If I could get that mod working with some more choices in the used sale, maybe we can pick up a decent alternative to this Kubota. But we'll have a look at doing that off camera. So we'll just get this hoe cleaned up, and I think this is the last thing that we'll do for today, guys. But I think it's been a pretty productive day. You know, we got the spraying done in our field, we got a couple of contracts done. Oh, do need to collect those, by the way. I won't believe the number of times I've failed to collect the contract and then it's run out by the time I come to collect the money. Don't want to be getting into that little scenario. So we'll collect those contracts before we finish off. But yeah, we've got quite a bit done today. Oh, another autosave. We'll let that run through, collect the contracts. We've got quite a bit done. Yeah, we've got a couple of contracts done, so we've earned ourselves a little bit of money. We've done our own field, taken care of the weeds in the oats field that we needed to do. There's 6,689 plus 1,000. Anyway, it's a decent whack. We're finishing on just over 60k. So if you've made it this far, if you've watched the video, I just want to say thank you, guys. I also want to thank 2 people that have subscribed to my channel in the last week or 2. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Please like and subscribe if you're interested, and I will see you in the next one. But for now, bye for now.